great. So today we're going to do something a little different, a little more laid back. We thought it'd be fun just to kind of come up with some questions and we're going to answer them about our daily lives, our habits, the things we do throughout the day. That has to do with fitness and health, but just kind of a little insight into our daily lives. But first of all, Mackenzie, what's going on with you? Anything exciting going on in life?
It's more stressful. When am I not stressed though? My friends are always like, "You were stressed all the time." I'm like, "I know, it's not good." But yeah, I'm actually this morning I just got approved for my new apartment, so I will be moving, which I'm kind of bummed about, but also excited at the same time.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, so basically, I'm staying locally in the Tampa area. I'm just moving over to St. Pete, which is probably like 30 minutes away and just closer to the beach and everything, and just closer to all my friends and kind of where everything is. The reason I'm bummed is because I freaking love my apartment. Everything is absolutely perfect, and I love that I'm 5 minutes from a beach here, and like everything checks out aside from just the location and kind of being close to everything and close to my friends. So because my goal has been relationships and experiences, I feel like this is what I need to do and just at least for the next year and a half and just put myself in those positions to kind of build that, put myself in the position to be able to meet more people and then go from there. So it was a tough decision, but I think it'll be good and just aligned with what I need in the season of life right now.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. You'll have to keep us updated on it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure I'll be stressing figuring out like the move and like how to move all my stuff and just furniture and everything.
Yeah, that's never fun, but the end result is fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then, as we know, I've kind of been taking a bit of a, I don't even like calling it a work break because I'm still working a lot, but just shifting my focus away from necessarily growing the business to growing other areas and working on speech and everything. And it's funny. I am not enjoying it. I mean, we we knew this was coming. But it's funny. I texted my coach this morning. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this work break shit. I'm ready to get back full force, full throttle. Like, what can I do?
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah, it's just been interesting because, well, so the main reason I did it was to be able to pour more into, again, the relationships and experiences and pouring back more into myself and giving myself time, which has been really nice. It, like the last week or so, I've been able to do a lot of things I want and just kind of tie up more of the open loops and even just like the apartment hunting and just the things that I normally am rushing through and not intentional about and just give myself more time for that. So it actually has been really helpful and probably much needed in that regard. But as far as making plans with friends and like really trying to build a relationship, that has not gone at all how I wanted. Just because I'm so structure routine oriented, my schedule's super crazy. So like I'm always trying to plan stuff out and ahead of time, and then a lot of people aren't as reliable or like I'll make these plans and last minute they switch up and then I end up just kind of like everything kind of goes to shit. And so I'm like, all right, this just feels like a waste of time now. So I'm just gonna get back to working because that's what I love. Especially when things like you have the set plan and they don't go the way you want it, then it just feels like things have been wasted. So like that part bothers me just in the sense I'm like, oh, I almost like I start feeling like little bits of like depression like coming on just because I always say you need meaningful work, and that's a huge reason why I was super depressed like 10 years back is because I didn't have anything I was meaningly like anything meaningful that I was working towards. So I just noticed that starting to creep in. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that. Like I'm ready to get back to it.
Well, and you're comfortable within it. You know you're good at it, and so it's just something that it's just it's just part of who you are, type of thing. And so you can wake up every day and be like, I'm dialed in on this.
Yeah, exactly. And I was listening to a podcast with Alex and Layla Hermosi this morning, actually, and they're obviously the very extreme of like just grinding and working hard,
Mhm.
but like everyone has their own definition of work-life balance, and it's still something I'm working to find. I think it's something that is always evolving and changing. But it's just like I'm wired for more of just like the grind, the work, and that's fine. That's just I know that's how I operate, and that's okay. And it's not going to be for everyone, and that's totally fine. But I just know that's kind of where I thrive, and so that's what I'm going to lean into.
Yeah.
What about you?
Now we're in like the studio dance season, and
Oh.
so they have performances and stuff, and those we travel around a little bit. So this weekend we'll be going to Cincinnati and watching some performances, and these are way different because they're competitions, they're competing against each other, but it's not structured like like athletic events, and so
Mm.
like we're there a lot longer sometimes, just watching just random dance studios we don't know, and then the thing that gets us is the awards. There's usually multiple award sessions, And some companies are better than others. Some they're pretty quick. Some they take forever. And every company's different. So like they'll get up there and they say, oh, they won the double elite diamond super gold, and I'm like, wow, that sounds amazing, and then the next time it's like the gold emerald. And it's just like everything's different. I have never known. I'm like, is that good or was that? They all sound amazing. So I'm like, this person came in like eighth place and they got some diamond award, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. So
Just smile and cheer.
I just wait till she's done. Like, so was that good? I mean, did you guys come? I don't really understand what that was. So, and that usually doesn't have to do with the places. Then they come in first place, and then they have the place, whatever. So I don't know. I
Oh,
just, yeah. So I just go out there, I watch her, enjoy her performances, and she loves it. So, I mean, it's fun. We have a good time.
and so how often are these trips? Is it every weekend or like every once a month
It
or?
depends. I mean, usually like in this, it'll be like within a couple months, and there'll be like 3 or 4 weekends type of thing.
Mhm. Okay. And what type of dance is this compared to what they were doing during the school season?
So they have very similar dances. It depends. So my daughter usually dances more of like a jazz type performances. There's a lot of mixture in there. But yeah, when you go and watch it, that you watch everyone. So I see everything. So
Well, that'll be cool. We'll have to get the stats update next week after your trip.
yeah, I'll let you know if they got that diamond, gold, emerald, and whatever. I'll have to figure out limited edition or whatever it was. All right, you ready to get into some questions?
Let's do it. Hit me with
All
them.
right. So we're gonna keep this short and sweet. This is kind of like a fun episode, but we just thought it'd be fun to go through a few things. So, all right. So first one we came up with is there any like new favorite food or meal that you've really got into lately?
I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask this because I eat the same thing on repeat every day. But kind of yes, my absolute favorite meal right now is a burger bowl, and I'm sure I've mentioned this a million times, but it is just so good. I roast up some potatoes, a bunch of ground beef. I've been doing mushroom, onion. I throw on some pickles, some tomato, some cheddar cheese. Bomb.
So you kind of make it. Well, usually when I do the burger bowl, it's more like the burger, like without a bun. So it's like
Mhm.
lettuce, ground beef, everything you'd put on a burger, right? So you kind of make it like a burger slash French fry taste with the potatoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay, I've never made it that way.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it's good. And it's really filling. Like you get a ton of volume of food, and obviously it's just like a lot of potatoes, veggies, meat. So lower calorie, high protein, and delicious.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key.
What's yours?
All right, so I'm gonna give you two. One because so the other day I bought, or I guess a couple weeks ago I bought some sardines. You ever eat sardines?
Honestly, no.
Okay, so there's the little tiny fish, right, in a can, and they're similar to anchovies. I've had anchovies, disgusting. I can't just eat those, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? I haven't had them forever is sardine. I need to try them because they're super high in protein, and the small fish, so there's not like any mercury levels or anything. Like one of the safest fish to eat. And I kind of, I got it and I was excited, but then also in the back of my mind, I was like, what if it tastes like, anchovies, whatever. It's gonna be disgusting. So I waited a couple weeks before I tried it, and I needed some protein before a meal, and I opened them up. Fantastic. I love them. That's gonna
Mm.
be like my go-to snack. I want to buy a bunch of cans. It was so good. I don't remember it ever tasting this good, but I just got some sardines in a can. It was like a little bit. I think they put sea salt on it or something like that, and water, and that was it. So good. Such good
Okay.
flavor. You can mix with anything. So that's going to be my go-to snack once I get some more. And then the other thing is I've been making this lasagna bowl without any noodles, and not because I'm afraid of the carbs or anything. I actually made it one day just because I didn't have much calories left in what I was trying to get through the day, and so I was like, well, I'll cut out something. I'll just cut out the noodles, and I didn't have any ricotta cheese, so I was like, well, I'll add some cottage cheese instead, and which is like cottage cheese is like double the protein. And I mixed it up together. Just put a little bit of provolone, mozzarella, mixed cheese on it, just a little bit of sauce, about a half pound of ground beef, whatever. Mix that all together. Fantastic. It tasted just like lasagna, like 3 times the amount of protein, and it was delicious. I loved it. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
start mixing that in more of my Italiano nights.
there we go. Yeah, that sounds really good actually. And I want to go back to the sardines too. So you really just eat the, I'm sorry, this is new to me. I'm taking notes. I feel like I need to try them now, but you literally
You
just eat them like that's it. You don't like mix everything. And that's just snacking on them.
can snack on it. It was this little can, and it was like 19 grams of protein. And I mean, you could mix it with anyone. It was light flavored, it wasn't very strong or anything like that. And I just ate it out of the can, and it was fantastic. I was like, I'm gonna have to start mixing this in, eat it by itself, a little snack, whatever, just pure protein. So go try it. You'll love it.
There we go, everyone. If you're lacking on protein, 3 easy snacks slash meals right there.
There you go. Yeah, we should have put that in our protein podcast, right?
Right?
If you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to it. It's a good one.
Next question. How do you handle it when the equipment you need for an exercise isn't available at the gym?
Oh man, when we wrote this, I was just trying to think of myself, but it's funny because the last few days I've had a couple members in the gym come up to me and complain about people like using the equipment that they were using or people coming up to them while they were working out. And so there's a couple ways I handle it. One, I can just be patient and I'll just either reorder my exercise and go do something else. Sometimes if I really want to go, perform that exercise right there, I'll just ask to work in. Most of the time, most people will be like, yeah, no problem. Or it's crazy. A lot of times you ask, hey, can I work in? They're like, yeah, I'm done. It's just like walk away. Or it's, sometimes it's a good time for me, especially if I've been doing that same type of exercise. Like let's say it's a barbell bench press and I've been doing that for a while and I haven't really changed it up and that it's not available. Sometimes I like to just go ahead and say, you know what, I'll do dumbbells today. Or I'll do incline today or something like that, something a little bit different, or maybe I'll do some unilateral work. And that just it changes up my workout. Usually I end up liking it better because it's a change of pace and again, no stress. There's a lot of different ways you can program your workouts. So if you know what you're doing, obviously, then a few tweaks, changes right there, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, my answer is basically the exact same. I'll usually ask people to work in depending on how rushed I am or how important it is. Good thing about my gym is usually pretty empty. Like rarely ever do I have to wait for any equipment, which is why I joined that gym because the other gym that I used to go to before was absolute shit show and I was just waiting my entire workout and I was just so pissed every day. So I was like, we gotta get out of here. But yeah, usually it's just if something is taken, I'll usually just go and switch it up, do a different variation. Like the other day, I went through my whole workout, just had one exercise left, but there's this really creepy trainer that no one likes there, and so I try to avoid him at all costs. And so he just would not leave the area with the machine I needed. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna go do like a machine version of the one that I was gonna do. Like I was gonna do regular back extension. I was like, oh, I'll do the machine version. Or if that's not available, I would do like a reverse hyper or something else. So just something similar along the same lines.
Yeah, and then I was just thinking too. Sometimes it's a great way to meet somebody. And get to know someone at the gym, and a lot of times made some good friends that way.
This is true, actually.
If you only had time for one exercise, maybe you just time of the day or whatever it may be, and you're just going to do one exercise, what would it be and why?
Squats.
Squats. All right, tell us why.
Just because that's like my main, like my big compound movement that I love. Obviously, like it hits a lot of the main muscles. I love training the lower body for the glutes, just overall in general. I feel like that just gives you the most, at least that gives me the most bang for my buck as far as if I just had to go in and do one exercise, and I just really enjoy it as well. So that'd probably be mine.
All right, so I have two answers because
Okay.
I have an answer. So what would probably get my most bang for the buck? I think I would agree. It would either be squats or deadlifts.
Yeah.
But knowing myself, if you're like, you only have one time for one exercise, what are you going to do? It would probably be either like an incline dumbbell press or pull-ups. And again, it just comes down to just because I'm really good at those. I like them. I enjoy doing those. And so I think it would just be more for like the comfort level and what I would enjoy the most doing.
Those are solid options too. I feel like pull-ups are a good one.
It'd be interesting too, because I think 10 years ago, if you asked that question to most males, I think most guys would say like bench press.
Oh yeah.
And most women would say like a squat. But I think now, with the popularity of deadlifts and squats coming back, I think you'd get a pretty even base. I think you'd get more people that would say squats and deadlifts, just whether they're female or male.
Yeah, I feel like that's been the common trend. Like I think most people know those are like the main compound movements,
Yeah,
and that's really been drilled in.
yeah. I think that's a cool thing, by the way.
Yeah, kind of going along that same lines. If and when you build a home gym, what three items would you have in there?
Okay, so a home gym, I would definitely want to have a bench. Right, I'd have to have a bench, and then if money was an object or design or anything like that, I would want some kind of squat rack. So I think you could do a lot of things with that, and then I would want a rack of dumbbells. And I think
Yeah.
if I had those three things, I'll probably think of something later, and be like, oh, yeah. But I think if I had those three things, I think I'd be set. I could do most of the things I'd want to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've seen some really crazy setups where they have like the squat rack, the barbell, they have a Smith machine built in, they have cables built in, they have everything. I granted I don't know how effective all those are, but like seem pretty decent. Like there's some options too if like you really want to get if people are building out home gyms and have minimal space, like there's lots of options for that. But yeah, no, I agree. I feel like those are kind of the main staples. I mean, I think for me, I speaking of squats, I love the belt squat. That's what I do for my squats. I feel like I would have to have that. I know that's just kind of not necessary, but I feel like I would need it in my home gym.
I've never done that exercise. I've never
Really?
been in a gym that's had that.
And yeah, it's rare to find it at a lot of main gyms, and I specifically seek it out when I'm looking for gyms.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it more on social media lately.
Yeah, I feel like it's becoming slowly a little slightly more mainstream. But yeah, I love it, especially just because I've always struggled with low back pain, and so it takes no load on your spine at all. You can load it really heavy. Like I have quite the interesting setup when I do it now. I literally stack a bunch of plates on the platform so that way I can get super super deep. So I'm just getting like super deep range of motion, no strain on the back, so it just feels awesome.
Speaking of gyms, all right, this is a fun question, I think. If, and we'll say and when, right? If and when you own your own gym, what would it look like? Have you thought about that before?
Like the design.
Yeah.
Um, well, the aesthetic I like in general, just for like my house or gym or whatever it is just black, white, and light wood tone. So it would be like a lot of black, just like some cool lighting overhead, and then just like white accents, wood tone accents. Like that's other than that, I haven't like gone super specific into what it would be, but I feel like that's the general vibe, if that kind of paints a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so I have put a lot of thought into this. So, first thing I would like when you walk in, it's kind of like a, wide door opening, almost like a garage door type opening, like a large opening entrance. And the first thing you walk into is a coffee shop. I want the
True.
coffee. Yes, I think it would be amazing. You have a coffee shop. You walk into the coffee shop. You check in. There's couches, seats to hang out, relax, and then it seamlessly flows into the gym. So the design is made so that you hang out at the gym more than just to work out. So it builds a big community base. Even if you're not going to the gym, you can stop by, grab a good coffee, a shake, or something like that, and just a great place to hang out, whether you're working out or not. I want it to be more like a lifestyle type thing. Like people enjoy being there at all times and just really get to know the community and the people that they work out with. And then when you walk in, I love the just real open design concept. I'd love to have like a section that's just like all turf, where you can do sleds or running or whatever you need to do there. I'd love to have some kind of ninja type thing that would be a lot of fun to do. And then I'd love just a long stretch of like squat racks and a long stretch of like benches, racks of dumbbells, and just a lot of space. One to be open, a lot of space so that people could easily move between everything and not be sectioned off. Like I think it's tough sometimes to go to gyms and everything's kind of sectioned off. You have to move around. You don't get to see all the people. Like love to be able to see one big area where even if you're a few hundred feet away, you can still see everyone just because everything is right there. And I'd love to have like a second floor as well. I love gyms that have kind of a second floor. Even I'm not sure what would be of maybe cardio equipment or whatever, but something up there so that you can kind of look over and view what everyone's doing. But just one big open concept, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then of course, I want like an outdoor area.
Mm.
as well, to do whatever you want to do out there. I'd have that set up as well, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd really enjoy going to that gym.
Yeah, I think I want to change my answer now. I want that.
You can
Unbreakable gym.
always, yeah, you can tweak it. Every time I see it, I'll see a lot of gyms on, social media and be like, oh, that's what I want that in my gym, type of thing. So,
Have you
yeah.
ever been to Alpha Land?
No, I have not.
Are you
It's in
familiar with
Houston.
it?
Yeah, it's in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I need to go next time I'm down there. I've seen video of it, pictures of it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, that kind of
Have you
reminds
been?
me yeah, that reminds me of everything that you were kind of saying. I have been before. I feel like it's like the Disneyland for gym rats, essentially.
Oh, I definitely need to check it out then.
But yeah, like they have their retail space with obviously like their attire and stuff, and then they have like I think they have like three gyms. Like one is outdoor, they have like one like smaller one in the back, and then they have one that's like the 2 stories with all the equipment and everything. And then also sauna and cold plunge essential in the gym. I definitely would want that in my future gym. But yeah, I think they have that in there too. They have like a whole restaurant, which I think would be cool too. Um, like that type of vibe, and then they have like the outdoor area, so like, in basketball and like all the things. So I feel like yeah, you can definitely get super carried away with building out everything, but I feel like that would be super sick.
Yeah, I like those ideas too. I've seen some that are like built in like, tropical areas and there's a
Mm.
lot of open air and it's just like it just looks gorgeous, and you have that fresh air flowing through and that would be really cool too. I guess it depends on where you built that, but
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of fun. I think there's just so many things you could do with that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the outdoor sections I feel like are always part of the best, especially like here in Florida. Like it's such a great place to do it, even just in Texas or whatever. I know we were talking to like we'll build the unbreakable gym at some point. It's gonna look something like this. That's gonna be a future vision for us.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. That would be so much fun.
It really would. I would love to do that, even if it's not super profitable. Like I don't know like all about the businesses and like how much it is to run a gym. I feel like it would just be fun just to do it and just to have it.
Yeah, and again, like I would love that just that concept of it being like a community, like where people go and hang out there for a while, not just to walk in, do their workout and leave, but they hang out there for a while to enjoy the people around, they get to know a lot of people, and just like a destination place they spend a lot of their day.
100%. I feel like I wish I had something like that here in Florida just to be able to meet people, meet the like-minded people, make new friends, connect and like have like a work spot, like a restaurant, like all those types of things to be able to really build those relationships. I feel like that's such an important part. And all the most important relationships in my life I've made at the gym. So I feel like if we had an intentional spot for that, it would just be even better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Super cool. One day.
One day it's coming.
And we'll do a couple more here. How about, all right, tell us about some music. Do you have like any pump up song that like always gets you hyped?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a specific, I don't really listen to songs. I listen to sets, and I listen to heavy, violent and dubstep when I train. I know I know when you first joined the team, you're like, oh, what do you listen to? I'm like, oh, here, listen to this. I'm
Yeah.
surprised you're still here after I hear that.
Very different, very different. Not what I expected, but yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it. It's very intense. But hey, it does a trick for me. I feel like it's something I've worked up to over time. Like I definitely in general I listen to more EDM type stuff, but it's a spectrum of like very chill stuff and then like kind of medium and then like the heavy, like aggressive, violent stuff. And it's just been an acquired taste, and now I'm just kind of numb to it. Like it's just, I'll listen to that when I'm working too. Like I'll literally go to a coffee shop, have dubstep in my ears, I'm just like working away.
That's great.
How about you? What do you typically listen to?
So it depends. I mean, actually, when I work out, I usually don't listen to any music,
There you
unless there's something. What'd you say?
go. Crazy.
I know most people I walk around, everyone's got their earbuds in. Part of the problem is my ears; those earbuds don't fit well in my ears, and they're always falling out. So I'm like, whatever. So it's usually whether it's playing in the gym or, I mean, there's actually a lot of times where they don't play any music, and I'm like, this is kind of peaceful. I kind of enjoy just like nothing going on. But I used to listen to, especially like in college when we do like intramurals and things like that. I would always listen to Metallica wherever I may roam. And I think I just liked it so much because it kind of starts off really slow. And what I do is I just kind of visualize like being successful, like winning the game, and just kind of really getting into it, and then it revs up and just gets into dun dun dun, and so I used to always listen to that. That would always get me pumped up. So anytime I hear that, or anytime I'm like, I really need a pump up song like that, that's one song that I'll go to and be like, all right, here we go, let's do this.
I love that. I think that's important to have though. I want to come up with a pump up song like for my speech too, because like I feel like I need that before or just like any big thing, but especially that I'm like I need to find something that like really gets me into that state.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and you build that habit, right? Of when I hear this song, all of a sudden your confidence starts going, and you're like, I can do this now. I got this.
Hmm. I want to touch on morning and evening routine too. Do you have any particular thing you do when you wake up in the morning or like unwinding after a long day? Walk us through that.
Yeah, so I definitely do. So morning routine is pretty consistent no matter where I'm going. But I'll wake up, and I normally wake up about the same time. So 15-ish minutes one way or the other, but it's around 4:45 or 5 o'clock every morning, no matter what I'm doing, where I am. And I'll do the typical, I'll brush my teeth, shave, shower, that type of thing. And then I have a little bit, kind of like a little bit of peace time. If I'm at home, I have my dogs, and it's just the three of us, and we just kind of hang out. I'll do a little Bible study, listen to a Bible project, and just kind of do a little Bible study. And it's just real peaceful. It's quiet out. I really enjoy that. I always like to have a little bit of time before everyone in the world gets up, and it's just kind of me and God and the dogs, and we just kind of have that peace. So, what about yourself?
Yeah, I feel like those peaceful mornings, those quiet mornings are the best part of the day. As far as mornings for me, it really just varies. Overall, the general structure is pretty similar though, as far as I've been trying to prioritize sleep, so I'm now sleeping in until 6, which is new for me and a little challenging because I love mornings. I love getting up early. So I'm finding the right balance there. But getting up and then I'll just get ready and I'll usually do probably like an hour of work and then I'll go immediately hit the gym. That part's been new too. I'm just kind of experimenting with usually I'll get up and go right to the gym or some now I'm just experimenting with a little bit of work before so that way I can like clear my mind as opposed to like me trying to work while I'm working out because I really want to be fully intentional with my training. So yeah, I'll go hit the gym. If depending on like daylight savings and everything, like I was going and watching the sunrise and like walking on the beach super quick on my way to the gym, but now that kind of got thrown off a little bit. So sometimes I'll throw that in there, then I'll just go train, and then after that I just get right to work. I go to a coffee shop and just get into some deep work. Simple. Like I don't need anything crazy. I just get up, work, gym, back to work.
Sounds good to me.
Right?
So, what do you have a typical evening routine as well?
Yes, that I have been working on too because I've been trying to prioritize my sleep. So I have my alarms set for 7:30 is when I need to like eat dinner if I haven't already and start like wrapping up work and like kind of have a hard cut off there. And then at 8 o'clock I have another alarm that goes off. That's where I put my phone away and start winding down. So that is sometimes I'll like take a little walk to like break up my work and like kind of get into that headspace and I'll like go and pray or whatever on my walk or just reset and think through some stuff or just listen to some chill music. And then I'll just take a hot shower and just kind of like do my nighttime skincare and all that. And then I'll read in bed for a few minutes and then go to bed. Simple. What about you?
Yeah, mine's a little more challenging in terms of having a real routine, just because of the different responsibilities and a lot of things the girls have going on. But typically, I'll eat dinner around the same time, usually around 6-ish or so, and then it depends on the weather. A lot of times I'll go for a walk or after dinner and things like that. But then it just kind of depends. But I like to kind of use the rest of the night. I try to use the rest of the night, just kind of wind down and just kind of slow down a little bit. I usually go to bed before everyone else. So I typically go to bed about the same time, 9, 9:30, 10, depending on, again, what's going on. And the dogs come with me so that we all go to get to bed together. And then I always lay down and I always talk to God. I always pray. And that has been, I found just to be a game changer in terms of like really relaxing my mind and not letting it go off into crazy places and just really focused on him and just having that conversation. And I've said this before, but 99% of the time, like I fall asleep before I finish that conversation. And then I start up the morning all over again. But usually just try to be a little more laid back and more relaxed, but towards the end of the night.
Yeah. Another random question though. This is maybe weird, but it's something like I've been getting into more, so I'm always curious. Like, what do you do when you pray? Like, how do you approach it? Because I know everyone kind of has their own approach onto like how they do that or what they talk to God about. So I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. So one, I always believe that you can ask and talk to God about anything you want.
Yeah.
All right. But I've tried to kind of structure them a little bit, and they're a little bit different. So throughout the day, if things pop up, I'll ask them or talk to them about something. But typically in the morning, when I go to work or when I'm going to the gym or something like that, wherever I'm going first thing in the morning, I always talk to them, and I always try to start off by thanking him for all the blessings in my life. And no matter what's going on, I can always find so many good things that he's blessed me with. So I thank him for all that. I thank him for my family and friends and just everything that's kind of going on in my life. That's really good. And then I pray for different people, especially if I know someone that's going through some challenges or something like that. And then then I asked for stillness, and which is a constant work in progress. Yeah, I ask him for certain things in terms of helping me to um, to be a better role model, be a better leader. Something that is along the lines of what I think he would want me to be. And I basically just kind of talk to him about what's going on in life and try to relate it to his will for me and how I can better reach people. And I just pray that people see him through me, and it's just, yeah, that conversation is really just mostly about thanking him for everything, and then just trying to figure out like how can I serve him better type of thing. And then at night, a lot of it, and at night it's more of just more gratitude. It's more of like, oh man, this feels so great. I'm in a nice, comfortable bed. I get to go to sleep. I get to talk to you, and just kind of thankful for the day. And if there is anything that bothers me, I'll talk to him and be like, look, I can't do any of this. Everything I do is all in your strength anyway. I just got to give it to you. And just I really just try to talk to him like he's my best friend. Like someone's just next to me, and he hears everything, and he understands me, and he gets everything. So it's I just try to have really just like a conversation with him.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I always love hearing people's take on that, and like it helps me a ton too as I'm getting into that whole journey too.
What about yourself? Do you have any structure or?
No, I'm still figuring that out. I feel like it's kind of similar though. It's like a lot of gratitude. I like using it to just send love and intention to people, whether they're struggling with stuff in their life or just people that I really value, or just anyone I'm thinking about. I'm like just like sending them love and just trying to bless them with abundance in their relationships and work or whatever it is. I've also been leaning into a lot of surrendering because I really like control and even just as stuff comes up like throughout the day, I'm trying to just be more intentional about just surrendering that to God and trusting in his plan as opposed to trying to control everything and do it my way and instead doing it his way, and kind of trusting the timing there. So that's been something I've been leaning into and just like trying to get clarity on certain things if I'm lost or feeling stuck. So that's kind of how I've been doing it so far, but it's all new to me.
Yeah, and I don't really think there's a wrong way of praying. I think what he wants is a relationship with us.
Mm.
And so if you're reaching out and talking to him, I think, he loves to hear from you, no matter what you have to tell him.
Yeah, that's one thing I have loved about just the faith in general. Is like there's no right or wrong. Like everything is like accepted. Like there's no right. I don't know. It just feels very accepting and like knowing that whatever I do is okay and it's enough. It feels really good.
Hmm. Yep. He'll love you forever, no matter what, right?
But yeah, we'll probably do more episodes like this in the future too. If you guys like it, it's always fun just to kind of dive in. I feel like we have a million different topics that we could talk about. But yeah, feel free to share this with anyone who you think you get value from it. It helps us a ton as we're growing this. And then feel free to join our private school community as well. We're putting all sorts of resources in there, posting content every week, and it's going to be the best place to grow and evolve with like minded people. So I'll put that link in the show notes, and we will see you guys next week.